A very good afternoon to one all present here. My name is Supreet Balaji, and I am a scout and I am a messenger of peace. So, as scouts, we all are interested in doing many badges and many badge works and doing all the proficiency badges. We work on many different social activities, social related activities. So, here there is one of the most important days that we are here for, that is the National Milk Day, and it's for the National Constitution Day. It's also called as the National Law Day or Samvidhan Divas in Hindi. So there's this one famous saying: I realized in all humanity that choosing to lead one kind of life means putting aside the desire to pursue the opportunity or opposite. So this is one of the most important sayings or most important quote that Dr. V. Kurain has given when he was there. So you all might have known who is Dr. Kurain. Yes, he is the father of the White Revolution, and he's also known for his milk revolution that he has done, the white revolution that he has done across the country to get to make sure each and every child across this country will have that opportunity to get that nutrition from milk, which is lagging some parts in the before the 1980s. So a brief about Dr. Kurain and the National Milk Days. Today is Dr. Kurain's birthday, which is on the 26th November, and it is actually celebrated as the National Milk Day since the 2014. It is actually a tribute to him for his remembering his work and his life Indian order. So post independence until 1980s, India forced a shortage of milk, and with rationing it into fluctuations as seasoning supplies and lives of farmers and health of citizens of this country were in really great dispute. So, and after the white revolution, which was started by V. Kurain, the India came from 5%, that is 21 million tons, to 188 million tons of milk in 2018. So it's a huge revolution in 40 years, and it is all because of the support, guidance, and opportunity given by Dr. Kurain. And next, most importantly, we are celebrating another day, that is the National Constitution Day or the Samvidhan Divas, the National Law Day. It is also known as National Law Day and is celebrated on the 26th November every year on commemorating the adoption of the Constitution of India. And on the 26th November 1949, the Constitution of Assembly of India adopted the Constitution of India, and it came into effect in 26th January 1950. So it is actually like when you know about the National Constitution Day, we see Dr. B.R. Ambedkar sir. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar sir is actually recognized as the father of the Constitution. So it is the memory of the Constitution Day and Dr. V. Kurain. So here we are there with the new concept of proficiency badges, which was there in the pandemic situation when everyone was there in the lockdown, and so scouts were having a great time uh, knowing more about the proficiency badges. So here we are again with the uh, milk dairy man and dairy maid. So before we go into the starting of the proficiency badges, I would like to welcome you to Sri Pija Sindhya sir, our beloved State Chief Commissioner sir. Sir, I would like to welcome you, and I would want you to inspire the young people with this International Day and like give a small inspiration for all of us, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Suprit Balaji. And on behalf of the State Bharat Scouts and Guides, I appreciate the work done by Suprit Balaji as the Chief of the Scouting Waves, a daily newspaper which has been published during this COVID pandemic period. I would like to compliment Suprit Balaji. I am also happy that young girl from Navodaya Vidyalaya, Chikbalapur, Shafia Tareem, is taking a lot of initiative in organizing today's webinar. I appreciate the work done by our International Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Madhusudan Avala, who has been responsible during the bad time of this COVID-19 pandemics. He has been able to connect all of us, more than 25 lakhs of boys and girls all over the Karnataka, and few lakhs from several parts of the country, and also from neighboring countries on one platform, that is webinars and Zoom meetings. And that is the reason we are all meeting today. And today is a great day as far as India is concerned. After our independence, we never had a rule book, which we call it as the Constitution of India, which is a holy book of India today. Immediately after the Britishers left us, we Indians, our leaders, we formed a constituent assembly consisting of more than 250 persons from all the linguistic states, from all parts of the India. They sat more than 2.5 years, day and night for more than 160 to 200 days. And they drafted this rule book, which was adopted on 26th of January 1950. In 1949, on 26th of November, this draft of the Constitution and the final form, it was approved by the Constituent Assembly. That is the honorable members, great scholars, retired vice chancellors, legal experts, political leaders, people from all walks of life were present in that Constituent Assembly consisting of more than 250 persons. Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, a great man as far as judiciary is concerned. He is from Maharashtra and he struggled in his life to get his post-graduation from abroad. After that, he participated in the Indian independence struggle. And because of everybody liked him and had respect, they made him the chairman of the Constituent Assembly, and it is he who is responsible for drafting this great constitution. In scouting and guiding, we have a badge called Citizen. So we have a call, this proficiency badge Citizen. It is useful for all of you, not only for earning a badge, but also you should know as a citizen of this country, what are your rights, what are your duties, and what we should do, what we should not do. All these things are written in the Constitution. My young friends, I would like to tell you, the whole world appreciates the Indian Constitution. It has been changed many a times. Changing is a must as times goes. But the original principles of the Constitution can never be changed. The equality, the right to live, right to earn, right to have freedom of talk, everything is there in this book. That is why today is a very holy day. On this day in 1949, 26th of November, the Constituent Assembly finalized this Constitution. I am very happy that all of you have joined here to discuss about the Samvidhana Divas. Bala santosh agide nanage. Today also happens to be the Milk Day. As my young friend Suprit Balaji, who is an intellectual, a very good organizer, a smart guy, who said just now that India was not having sufficient milk. Yes, you are right, Suprit. We never had milk. Though our cows were there, buffaloes were there, but we were not able to produce sufficient quantity of milk, which was helpful to all of us. I would like to remind all of you that in the year 1978, I went to a small country near America, that is called as Cuba. There was a great international leader by name Fidel Castro. He said they were producing, being a small country, they were producing a lot of milk. I asked them a question, why you are producing so much of milk? You don't need it. You know what he said? He said, yes, we want every child born on this earth to have 1 cup of milk every day. You just imagine. It was not a forward country like America or Europe. Cuba was a developing country, then now they have developed. So after 1970s, in India, Dr. Kurian from Kerala, he had this idea of making self-sufficient in milk production in this country. So it is he who is responsible for the white revolution, we call it. Now almost we have sufficient milk we produce in the country. I should say Karnataka is number 1 in the country, in India, as far as milk production is concerned. You must have, all of you have heard the dairy called Ananda Dairy. Ananda means joy, blissful, happy. That is called as Anand. This was, though it was earlier started, Kurian joined there as an engineer, and then he became a Padma Shri and Padma Vibhushana because of his sacrifice, dedication, hard work. Not only Anand, Milk Dairy, that was only a small unit when he became an employee there. He becomes the chairman of that great Anand company, and then he produced the best of the buttermilk, butter, which is called as Amul. You get into any international flight in the world, you will get the butter of Amul. See, milk is something, not only it is nutrient. To produce chocolates, you require milk. To produce milk powder, you require milk. To produce biscuits, you require milk. I remember I have visited, I had the great opportunity of meeting Dr. Kurian several times. And in Karnataka, if we are number 1 in the country in milk production, it is because of Dr. Kurian's help to us. Bangalore Dairy, Bemul, all these were assisted by him, blessed by him, and it's because of him today we are able to produce sufficient milk. I had an opportunity to visit Anand also. I also remember one more dairy which I visited in Baramati near Pune. You go into the net and find out the dairy is there. It is a world-class number 1 dairy in Baramati. It is next to Anand Milk Dairy. You know, it is so interesting. By the side of the dairy, they produce the milk, and the milk goes in the pipe like water. One pipe is put to the chocolate factory, the other pipe is put to the biscuit factory, the other pipe is put to the milk powder factory. They produce milk powder, they produce chocolates, they produce biscuits, and then whatever milk is required for Bombay city, they send it through vehicles. This is the kind of milk production we are doing. So today in the webinar, I am sure Safia will tell you about how to breed a cow, what are the necessities to be done. I remember ನನಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಕಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ದನ ಮೇಯಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಆಗ ದನ ಮೇಯಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಈಗ ಹಸುಗಳನ್ನ ಸಾಕೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಬಹಳ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ. ಆಗ ದನ ಮೇಯಿಸೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಅಚ್ಚೇರು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದು, ಅರ್ಧ ಸೇರು ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡೋದು. ಅದು say about must be around 250 ml of milk or so, not even 1 liter of milk we are getting. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಜರ್ಸಿಗಳು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವೆ. Jersey milkಗಳು they give up to 20 liters, 30 liters, some 40 liters also. That is the difference. And also now the stuff which we give, the food which we give to the cows, it is also very, very important. Hygiene of the cow is also very important. As a scout leader, as a guide, you should know all these things. Not only about the constitution, to be a good citizen of this country, and also about the milk production. I am sure these 2 days is going to be All of you who are participating from different parts of the country and especially from different parts of Karnataka, you will be able to gain knowledge in so many ways on these two topics. I wish all the best. I congratulate Mr. Madhusudan Avala, Suprit Balaji, and Safia for organizing this webinar in one day. I appreciate this. And I want every day Scouts and Guides should learn something. During the period of this COVID pandemics, it is necessary not only keep your body fit, be hygienic, keep your mind also fit. For this is going to help you. Thank you for this great opportunity. Wish you all the best, young friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for your inspiration for all of us. So we will have Shifya, who will be starting about Dairyman and Dairy Maid.
Hello.
Yes, Shifya, you can start now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Shafia Tahreem. I study in Navodaya Vidyalaya, class 11. Today, we are going to discuss Dairyman and Dairy Maid badge. So, in agriculture, the dairy farming plays a very important role. It's the main source of income when we see to it. And let's look at the requirements. So, the dairy maid have a knowledge gained by a practice of the management of at least one animal, cow or buffalo or goat, and produce a certificate from the parents or from the owner where she worked for at least 3 months. So let's look at the explanation in the later slides. The second requirement is demonstrate the care of dairy utensils and appliances used in the area. The third requirement is know the milking and sterilization of milk, including pasteurization. Know the processing of milk, that is making cheese, butter, and ghee. The last requirement in Dairy Maid batch is know how to prepare lassi or buttermilk as a cool drink. The requirements of dairyman are the requirements are almost same for both the badges. The extra badge the extra requirements are that knowing about the veterinary diseases and from the veterinary doctor at least 2 types, and the first aid to be rendered to the milk cattle, then enthuse at least 6 neighbors to improve the breed of their cattle by artificial insemination, and the last one, propagate in the mohalla better formula of a balanced cattle feed in 10 houses having cattle. So let us look at the individual requirements now. The first requirement, having knowledge about the management of dairy animals. So there are a few processes in the management. The first one is feeding and watering. Proper feeding of the cattle lets the animals stay healthy. The next one is housing management. Housing management for the cattle is that the place should be ventilated. It should be a large area, an open area, and a dry place. So the reproductive management of cattle is that the breeding of animals should be taken care, and the offspring produced should be taken care very well. And the healthcare is that controlling diseases caused by the flies and insects by keeping the place clean, by sanitizing the place. So and next is maintaining the health by providing vaccination, by providing vaccination and isolating the cattle if the cattle is found unhealthy or affected by a disease. The next the next requirement is that care of dairy utensils and appliances. So the unclean vessels and appliances used in the dairy farming are the source of most bacteria which get into milk and other dairy products. So the step one is rinsing the vessels or the utensils. The rough rinsing means roughly watering or roughly cleaning it. The next step is the wash cycle. The washing is here the utensils which are used in dairy farms are coated with are stuck with the fat and protein of the dairy products. So it requires a chemical cleaning agent to remove the protein and fat from the vessels. So step 2 is wash cycle, and the step 3 is the last one, sanitizing once the wash cycle is completed, so that it will be the vessels can be used for further uh, processes. The next these are some photos are of the cleaning process. Then the next process is milking. Milking is the act of removing milk from the mammary glands of cattle, sheep, etc. There are two ways in which the milking is performed. One is by hand, and other is the machines. That the machine part is that um, the it is because of the modern technologies which are inculcated in the agricultural development. So the hand type of milking is shown in the picture, and also the machinery type. So the next thing is sterilization of milk. Sterilization is the killing of microorganisms, so that the dairy product will be able to store for a long period rather than spoilage of the product. Pasteurization. Pasteurization is heating the liquid to kill pathogenic bacteria to make the food safe to eat. The use of pasteurization to kill pathogenic bacteria has helped to reduce various type of diseases. So the two processes are basically the heating of the liquid, the dairy liquid, so that the bacteria is removed. So you all may be thinking, how is pasteurization and sterilization different? So first, pasteurization is that it involves heating the liquid from 50 centigrade to 60 centigrade. It removes only a small amount of bacteria and pathogens. The second, the sterilization involves heating the milk to about 120 centigrade and 135 centigrade, where absolutely nothing survives. So it's basically that in pasteurization, some microorganisms may be alive. And the second process is that the sterilization kills everything, so that the aim is to use the product longer. And then the next, processing of milk. The processing of milk is that after milking process, the milk should be processed to form various dairy products such as cheese, ghee, and butter. So there are diverse methods, there are diverse steps in the processing of milk. First one is that collection of milk from cattle, and then the transportation of the milk or milk to the processing plants. And the third one is that clarification. So here clarification is the removal of dirt and foreign matter from the milk, so that it is better than filtration, as it removes a whole of the foreign particles. And then the next process is homogenization. Homogenization is the process of treatment in milk there are fat globules and protein molecules. And so the fat globules present in the milk are treated with pressure, so that the larger fat globules are become smaller and even in size, and spread all over the milk. It's just that they become more in number as the larger fat globule is broken down. And the next uh, the processing of milk is done to various processing equipments with efficient and natural. These are the steps which I discussed now: collection of milk and transportation to the plant, and then it is clarification, the removing of impurities, and it is homogenization, so making the fat globules small, and the pasteurization and the packaging of milk is the final process. So you all may be thinking, like in some home, in some houses, the milk, I mean the milk is processed so that we can produce ghee, cheese and butter. It can be done at home, and for the larger scale it is done, and there are various ways. So the first one, like the raw milk is undergone to separation. Then the heat, actually the all the processes inculcate the same thing. The cheese from milk is formed when milk milk is processed to cream, and cream is processed to yogurt, which is curd, and then from the yogurt the cheese is produced. Ghee, the ghee is produced by milk converting to buttermilk, and then it is converted into butter, and then ghee is formed. So after that, the ghee is formed through the same way. Ghee is formed to the same way. It is heating, and then the buttermilk and the ghee is formed. So the next thing, the last requirement in the last requirement in the dairy made batch is preparing lassi. All may enjoy lassi during the summer season. Favorite. It is the most favorite juice or uh, thing in the summertime. So here are some basic steps of preparing lassi. Um, you can add various spices and mint and any fruits according to your taste. Uh, the normal way to prepare a lassi is the ingredients of lassi. First, let us look at the ingredients. 750 grams of yogurt. You can take how much ever requirement, according to the requirement, how many people you are serving the lassi, it's dependent on that. And then ice cube, so that it is chilled, and salt or sugar depending on your taste, and water. So the preparation is um, um, crushing the ice cubes, and then blending the yogurt, water, salt or sugar, then blend it for about 1 minute so that it is even, and then serve chilled. As I said, you can add various types of spices like cardamom, mint, and mango lassi, which is the uh, most like which is the most tasty thing. So there are additional requirements in um the dairy man badge. The one is that knowing about two common diseases in cattle, knowing about the two main, common diseases in cattle, and knowing the first aid. So let me tell you any two common diseases, or uh, com- the first one is horn fracture. Everyone may have noticed the horns the on the in the cattle. So the when the cows and sheep um, fight or due to some external injury, the horn may be broken or it may get fractured. So when that happens, the first aid, so the immediate the immediate aid you can give to the immediate aid you can give to the cattle is that applying breaking bleeding can be prevented by a bandage or sugar solution. We can apply a bandage and then coat the bandage with a sugar solution. And the second disease is that wounds. Sometimes the wounds may be very deep and sometimes it may be small, and these wounds may attract insects and flies. So there is a need to do the first aid as soon as possible. So the wounds can be cleaned by like the wounds should be thoroughly cleaned through the cotton or cloths. The wound should be cleaned, and then septic wounds should be cleaned with saline water, with hot saline water, so that the germs are removed. And then neem oil can be used as a fly repellent. As I told, the wounds of the cattle may attract flies and insects, which may cause additional injury to them. So neem oil can be used as fly repellent. And then ensure at least sick neighbors improve the breed of their cattle by artificial insemination. So, as PGR Sindhya Rao sir said that now there are different breeds of cattle present to which have increased milk production, so that the people who are rearing cattle should have the knowledge about the various breeds of cows which have higher production, and they should look into that. They keep rare these kind of breeds, which will help them financially also. And then propagate in the mohalla better formula of balanced cattle feed in 10 houses having cattle. So in the area where the cattle are reared, there we have to propagate the balanced feed which the cows may require. So if balanced feed is not given to the cows, it may again lead to some diseases which will cause greater pain. So we have to provide information about the balanced diet required for the cattle. So this is all for the dairyman and the dairy maid batch. Uh, Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very thankful. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Safia. It was very informative and very educative. We are getting a lot of comments telling that it was really informative. Uh, so thank you everyone for being here. So most importantly, we were here for the International Day, that is the Constitution Day, to celebrate both the international days and to start over the proficiency badge, virtual proficiency badges. So we have so many attendees here. If anybody would like to go for the next proficiency badge, who's interested, you can give your names. You can give your names and phone numbers. You can contact it directly to our Scouting Waves Gmail. Scouting Waves Gmail. I'll be giving you the Scouting Waves Gmail address, so you can directly contact us about the proficiency badges instructions. So you can come here and you can give your proficiency badges. So yes. Okay, yeah. So now the Gmail account is there, so you can Gmail us to the Gmail ID so that we can get in contact and you can start over the same what Shafia did. Even you can present your desired or international days related proficiency badges. So thank you very much everyone for being here in this auspicious day. I would like to thank PGR Sindhya sir, and I would like to thank all the background team who was working on the proficiency badge instructions. Thank you, Shafia, for giving an uh, interesting speech, interesting information, and thank you all the attendees. We'll hope we'll meet soon again for another proficiency batch. And on this Saturday, we are having. We're having a virtual CPR, how the CPR should be done. So you can all join the you can all join the webinar. So you will be getting the link in the Facebook. You can find our link in Facebook or even the Instagram account. So follow us and learn more about all the different things that you would like to learn from scouting. Hope you like scouting. Hope you enjoy scouting even in this pandemic situation. Thank you, everyone. Take care.